Hello and welcome. This is a mock IELTS speaking test with Faysal, a student from Bangladesh. Please stay to the end where I give feedback and evaluate his speaking, and I'd love to hear how you would score his performance today.
Okay, let's begin. So this is a mock speaking test. I'm with Faysal here today. He's from Bangladesh. Are you ready to begin?
Yes, I am ready to.
Good. Okay, so we're going to start now with part one, where I will ask you some general questions. Do you
Okay.
play any sports?
To be honest, I love to be play with different type of sport like cricket, football. But cricket is one of my favorite sports, and whenever I have free times, I like to play cricket with my friends.
Great. And what sports are popular in your country?
There are lots of sports in our countries that available, and now most of the people play like footballs, crickets, volleyball, and there are some locals play like our hadodo and some chokni. But there is one of the most famous play in our people country. Most of the people play. It's called football because football is international game stuff, and our country's people love to play football. And whenever I have my free time, I like to play with footballs with my friends.
Great.
Okay.
And do many people like exercising in your country?
To be honest, it's now people live in the age of modern days, and they like to consume. They spend a unroutine day to day, and most of the people nowadays have lots of disease like heart problem, high blood pressures. So now the people love to exercise more and more in the past. So that's why in the morning and in the today's people like to join the gyms also, and they love to work out so much.
Good. And I want to talk now about age. Are you happy to be the age you are now?
To be honest, I have a mixed reviews because I think there are some advantages in the disease, but I mostly love in my childhood because when I'm child, I don't have any, I don't need to think anything. There is all time with my moms and they give me what I need. But when I grow and I feel that I'm now mature, and so I need to earn my own things, and I depend with my own. So I think in the past is better than now.
Good.
And that's why I love my
And
childhood.
so when you were a child, did you think about your future?
Mm, Certainly, I don't think so much. Because whenever I'm child, I love to play, and I think I'm just think about what I play in the next day, but I don't plan with my future. The what I do within my future so much because I love to spend. I think that every day with the uniques. So I just enjoy this day with their own. So I don't like to think about my future so much, and I remember that in my childhood I don't think about my future so much.
Good. And do people change as they grow older?
uh, to be honest, I don't think so much because in my perspective I don't feel that in people grow they don't change so much, but in sometimes they can be changed because of their our future plans or their perspective, like something there. Some people like to do with the jobs and some people like to business, and that's why their mind also be changed. I think it's depend on their goals or plan.
Good. And do you think you have changed as you've got older?
uh, uh, I don't think so much I can be changed in my future because I'm a natural person. I like to live with my day with their own. So I don't think I don't change it so much in now. When I think about my childhood and now, I don't think it's so much different because when I child I love to watch cartoon, and also now I'm watch the same. So I believe that whenever I grow in the future, I don't change my hobbies and I don't be change so much.
Okay. And what do you think will be different about your life in the future?
To be honest, I think there are lots of different things that I happen in my future. Like in the future, I need to depend on my own. I need to be independent. I need to establish my own career. Like I like to in my future plans. I like to start my own business. So I need to focus on that, and I I plan with this properly. I think there are lots of difficulties to come with that times.
Good.
Oh,
Okay, so that concludes part one of the speaking test. We're going to
okay,
move
sir.
along now to part two. This is
Yes.
where I will give you a topic to speak on, and I'll
Okay.
paste that here in the chat now. Can you see it there?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm.
Good. Okay, so for this section, you have 1 minute to prepare. You can take notes,
Yes, sir.
and at the end of 1 minute, I'll let you know when your time's up, and then you can start to speak. And you're required to speak for 2 minutes, or 1 to 2 minutes.
Oh, oh.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
so I'll let you to start to prepare now. Okay, so your preparation time is up.
Okay, sir.
Are you
I'm
ready
ready
to
for it.
start? Okay,
Ye-
let's begin.
Okay. Um, I love to travel whenever I have free time. So, like in my weekends or in the summer vacations, I love to travel with my friends or in my family member. And recently, I'm traveling in Saint Martin in my summer vacation with my friends, with my 10 or more than friends, with my 10 friends, and we going in Saint Martin Island in these vacations, and we stay in one of the most beautiful hotels in the Saint Martin. It's called the Sundarban Hotels, and I love this hotel because this structure is so much beautiful. So when I going to see these hotels, it looks very beautiful because I never going to the Saint Martin before, and I think there is some new things I can see. Like in our regular hotel, it's not so like that. Our regular hotel is just like 3 or 4 stairs building, but there is a different kind of building. It's something like bungalow, where people in the small one rooms and the one shades, and there are only 3 or 4 people stay in this one room. And I love that one thing is there is a it's an island hotel, but there is a small swimming pools in this hotels available. So whenever we went to swim, we can go to the ocean, or we can swim in this swimming pools. Because I'm really surprised because when in the island hotels, it's not so much popular to get a swimming pools. And the swimming pool design is really unique, and I think it is one of my best travel experience in my life, because their hotel environment is so the staff is so much friendly. Because when we need anything, they just whenever just call the reception, and they give me that, and they can help me with the all things, like they can arrange our tickets,
Okay,
and they
your
arrange
time's up there.
okay.
Good. Okay, so what are some things that tourists can do in St. Martin? St. Martin.
Okay. Saint Martin is an island, and is a probable island in our countries. There are tourists can do lots of things. They can visit these local markets, and their local culture is really unique. They can meet with the local peoples because they are very friendly, and they want to know about their culture, because every community have their own culture, and it's their own future. So I think when they visit this place with this meet the local community, they can enjoy their culture so much.
Good. And if you go on vacation, how do you choose which hotel to stay in?
To be honest, my first preference is my rooms. I always go to the rooms when I choose the hotels. I see the what the facility available in the rooms, like their pillow, like there are washrooms or anything. It's a proper or good. But also one thing I love to is the environment. So I love to live in the nature because I live in a city. So whenever I go to outside my vacations, I like to choose that type of hotel where is a beautiful connection with the nature so much. So whenever my first preference is my rooms, and my second preference is also my also it's close to the nature that can feel me that I am not in the city, I'm living the something like nature habitat.
Good. And do you read ratings or reviews of hotels that you want to stay in?
Yes, obviously. When I going to any online, must be when I book hotels in online. I always check the reviews because in this past people they lives in here, and then most of the people say they're honest reviews. If they feel something good in this hotel, they review in or Google it. I feel that if that can happen in that type of people, it can happen in me also. So I love to read the reviews always when I
Great.
book any bottle in internet.
Good. And how do you think ratings influence the choice of a hotel?
To be honest, nowadays ratings is one of the most things that can influence people so much because people now it's modern and they love to book their hotels with online, and they own their hotels. They they love to know that this hotel is good to or bad with the reviews. They influence most of the time with the reviews. And I personally support that I believe that that reviews can make a hotel good or worse.
Good. And how do people usually book hotels in your country?
In my country, most of the people nowadays book hotels through the internet, like most of the website, because in this technological era, people's in modern, more modern in the past, and they would like to don't like to spend with time go to visit the restaurant. They want to fast and they like always in advance. So whenever in the internet they can book their hotels in the 4 or 5 days before their vacation, so they don't have any stress that it can be is that hotel rooms is available or not. So nowadays people like to book their hotel with their through the lots of apps, and there's some website available in our internet.
Great. And are there any differences between the hotels in your country and hotels overseas?
Uh, to be honest, I feel there are lots of difference in my country's hotels and the overseas hotels. I'm travels in Europe recently, so I feel that in Europe that is more developed in our countries. I stay in the 3-star hotel in Europe, and I feel that I'm staying in a 5-star hotel because their facility is so much good compared to our country, and they provide a different type of cuisine. Because in our country, there are limited type of cuisine because mostly people have their Chinese food or Bengali food. But in when I'm visiting Europe, when I see that people have different type of cuisine, not only Chinese or their country, they like Italian cuisine, and they also like Japanese cuisine, and there are lots of different type of cuisine, and I love to that taste that, and I really enjoy it so much.
Excellent. So that concludes our mock speaking test today. Please stick around
Okay,
and
sir.
I'll give you some feedback about our test today. Thank you.
So, how do you think Faisal did today? Well, I think you will notice that Faisal speaks very fast. And it's as though he only has a limited amount of time and he wants to say as much as possible in that time. And even though part two is a timed speaking test, I would recommend for him to slow down. And I think the speed of his speech, this starts to affect his breathing. So after a long sentence, he has to pause and take a big breath. So I think if he did slow down, his speech, then he wouldn't have to do this and he could breathe more naturally as he speaks. And on some occasions I found that he tends to cut off the end of his sentence and does not complete the sentence fully. So I would say his fluency is good and he has no trouble speaking for long periods, but after a while he does tend to repeat himself. My advice to him would be to think of one idea for an answer to a question, develop that idea rather than jumping around from topic to topic in a single answer. With regards to vocabulary, he has a good range of vocabulary, like saying things like high blood pressure. With regards to pronunciation, I found him a little difficult to understand at times, and I think this is partly due to him speaking fast, and partly due to some interference from his first language. Correct pronunciation and intonation is definitely something that he needs to work on. He's let down by his grammar, and I want to go over a few of the grammatical mistakes he makes when he's speaking. So at the start, for example, he said, "I loved to be playing different sports," instead of saying, "I love playing different sports." Sometimes he has I think a bit of a habit to add S to the ends of words where it's not necessary, such as vacations instead of vacation and peoples instead of people. A couple of times he said "so much beautiful" instead of "so beautiful." So I think if he slowed down, it would give him time to think more about his grammar. Some of the mistakes that he makes, I think, are born out of bad habits, which he may have gotten into over a period of time, and he may not even realize that he's making them. So hopefully this video will help him to see the mistakes he makes in his speech and how he can improve on them. So overall, I think his fluency and vocabulary are good, but pronunciation and grammar need some more work.